What is going on, guys? It is your role model of the IWC here today with my first review in quite some time, man. And like I said, going into the summer, YouTube, I am coming back full time. Now, before we get into anything Hell in a Cell related, I do want to mention that on Tuesday, I will be busy. I will be busy during the day going through some things that I needed to do for my job. I'm not going to get into much of that, but if I will let you guys know when I'm supposed to upload, and I don't necessarily know when that's going to end yet. So Tuesday with NXT might be a little bit late. I will let you guys know that in advance. But once I get a set thing ready, I will let you guys know when you guys could expect it, whether that's going to be late at night or if that's going to be immediately after the show like I am doing here tonight. But Hell in a Cell, man. Hell in a Cell 2021, honestly, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to go on for about 30, 20, 40 minutes, anything like that. This is probably not going to last too long, probably about 10, 15 minutes. But Hell in a Cell 2021, man, might be the most average wrestling show that we've seen all year long. Nothing against the wrestling itself that happened here in this show. The wrestling matches weren't bad. It's just there was little to no interest in literally everything that was going on. And we started it off with the pre-show. We had Natalie up against Mandy Rose. This match, completely unnecessary in my opinion. It meant nothing. It had little to no build. This literally got thrown together 2 hours before the show. It did not need to be there. It had nothing, no implications whatsoever. Natalie ends up beating Mandy Rose. Does anybody care at the end of the night? Probably not. If you even watched the pre-show, I doubt that you even did, to be honest with you, because I feel like a lot of people just don't watch the pre-show nowadays, especially since nothing really important ever happens on the pre-show. Why would you watch? Why would you watch this pre-show? There's just nothing to it. The match itself was not good. This was by far, in my opinion, the worst match of the night. And there's not much else to say about it. Natalia picked up the win. I don't know where they plan on going with Natalia. If it were me, I would have given Mandy Rose the win, and I would have been booking her towards potentially winning with the women's Money in the Bank if you can't get Sasha Banks to win it. I think Mandy Rose has a lot of potential, and I think she's developed a fair amount from when we first saw her get called up to the main roster. So it'll be really interesting here to see whether or not they try to build Mandy back up, or if they're just going to push her aside because they don't like the women's division as itself. Because we know Vince just does not care about that division ever since Ronda Rousey left. Me and Indigo talked about that going into the show, that it feels like they just don't care anymore. And that is a prime example. They give you a match that makes little to no sense. It's not a great match. It's not anything you're going to be excited to go see. It's whatever. Next, we start off the main show with a very good match between Bayley and Bianca Belair. Now, for me, this was the match of the night. I tweeted out almost immediately following the match that match is going to more than likely be the match of the night, and throughout the remainder of the show, that stuck true. How do I put this? I had little interest in this match. I really did. Because Bianca, she hasn't had a very good title run. To be honest with you, the only person, in my opinion, that's really had a good title run with our current belt is Roman. Even Bobby Lashley. I love Bobby Lashley. I loved winning the Hurt Business. I loved him winning the championship. But they got to move on from what they're doing with him. But we'll talk about that later. Bianca, in my opinion, just really started off to like a slow start once winning that championship. But this match did add some stuff to it. I prefer that the build would have been better for this match. I don't think the build was that great for this match. However, these women both went 20 minutes in Hell in a Cell. They killed it to start off the show. They were playing into the fact that Bianca has the hair. Bayley was using it to tie her to the ropes, tie her to the chair. But apparently Bayley does not. Sorry if you see me adjusting my hat, and sorry if I look weird with my arm, because both of my arms are currently injured. Don't know how that happened, but both injured. But anyways, Bayley absolutely amazing in this match. Bianca did phenomenal in this match. Bayley could not tie a knot with the hair, so maybe Bayley needs to be going to some Girl Scout training or whatever, wherever you learn how to tie knots. The only reason I say that is because I think in the Boy Scouts, I don't know, I was only there for one day, and then I quit, but I think the Boy Scouts, you learn how to tie knots, if I believe so. I would assume in Girl Scouts you would as well. But either way, Bayley needs to learn how to tie knots, because she could have beat Bianca. She knew how to tie a knot, man. She could have beat Bianca, but she didn't know how to beat it. Bianca hit a KOD, and Bianca Belair won Women's Hell in a Cell to start off the night and retain her SmackDown's Women's Championship. Very good open. Brilliant stuff between those two women. If you're telling me that there's going to be a match between those two, obviously it's going to be good, but I expected the build to be better. I can hear, I think my neighbor's TV is super loud because it sounded like little kids were laughing outside. I don't know if you guys could hear that. But anyways, you tell me both these women are going to be a match. Obviously, initially you're going to think they're going to have a very good match. The problem with this match is it had not a great build, and it just didn't feel really that interesting. But they definitely, in my opinion, were somebody's definitely having a party outside. Now I can hear adults. But anyways, they're definitely... Now I lost track. But they definitely, both Bayley and Bianca, they could have great matches together, but they need a better build. That's simple. I'm going to move on now. Try to get my thoughts going back together. Hopefully we don't have to hear anybody outside again. But next, we got Cesaro going up against Seth Rollins. Once again, you can see my arm kind of struggling to get there. But anyways, Seth Rollins, man, versus Cesaro. What is there to say about it? People are saying it's a good match, and I'm not saying it was a bad match. It was an okay match. The problem with this match, really, to me, was we've seen this, and the outcome of this match would imply to me, at least, that means we're going to have yet another match between these two, which don't want to do. I want there to be fresh stuff, man. I want there to be fresh stuff going into SummerSlam, and what I think is more than likely going to happen is Seth Rollins and Cesaro are both going to be in Money in the Bank. They're potentially going to cost each other Money in the Bank, and then we're going to get the rubber match at SummerSlam, and I do not want to see that. I don't want to see that at all. It's just not interesting to me. I'd rather move on to something new for both men. But once again, just another rerun match. Was it good? Was it a good work rate match? Sure. Did I care about it whatsoever? No. That's the main part about this show, man, is it wasn't necessarily a bad show in terms of work rate, but there's just nothing, no story being told. It's just hard to get into, man. It really is. But next we get Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler. I don't even want to give this match the time of day, but I have to. Shayna Baszler lost. She lost to the magical, mystical, superpower, supervillain, whatever you want to call her, Alexa Bliss, the one that can control people with her mind. Really? I gotta take this off, man, because I need to keep adjusting it, and I think my arms get tired. But really, Shayna Baszler, one of the actual legit women in the division. She came up with Ronda Rousey, man. She came up with probably the biggest name your women's division has ever had, including Becky. Ronda Rousey put you guys on the map, man. She was one of the most legit women's wrestlers I think they've ever had. She brought recognition to the team, or to the title. She brought recognition to the brand. She brought recognition to the division. And I, my foolish self, assumed that you could do this with Shayna, because she fits the bill of a Ronda Rousey. Is her name as big? Absolutely not. But does she have the same type of style, the same type of grit to her? Absolutely. It's an easy story to tell. You have Shayna run through in a division. You don't have Shayna lose to an Alexa Bliss. You don't do that. You don't have her lose to an Alexa Bliss. She should be embarrassing Alexa Bliss. She should be beating Alexa Bliss in under a minute. she should be dominating the division until you have somebody like a Becky, or where you have somebody that is been brought up to the point where you have this dominant woman like Shayna Baszler, could be like she was in NXT, and then perhaps maybe, let's say you build up whomever. Let's say you build up Liv Morgan, for example. Let's say you build up Sasha Banks, Bayley, whoever. Maybe Asuka, I don't know. But you got to build up this individual to be a big baby face, and that is when you can beat Shayna Baszler. You don't beat Shayna Baszler in meaningless matches like this. That's just not what you do with Shayna Baszler. That's not what Shayna Baszler is. So, definitely left a bad taste in my mouth that Alexa Bliss won here. Definitely left a bad taste. I don't even want to really talk about the match, but I have to. And Shayna Baszler, she should win. There should be no excuse for Shayna Baszler to lose this match. And she lost. You would have told me 2 or 3 years ago when Shayna Baszler was still in NXT that one day we are going to be sitting in and we are going to be seeing Alexa Bliss try to use mind control to beat Shayna Baszler. I would have laughed at you. Not only is that the part that is irritating, but the part that's also irritating is Alexa Bliss literally stole Bray Wyatt's gimmick. Where has he been? Where has he been? Did he just hand her this gimmick? Like, come on. Next, we got 3 more matches, man. We got Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they can't put on a bad match. They can't. The problem with this match is they literally booked it yesterday, and I literally do not care. I don't care. Why would I care about Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens more the 1,000th time that we've seen them than the 999th time? We've seen these guys fight each other millions of times, it feels like. They were fighting each other before they were ever in the WWE. In NXT, they fought each other. And Mania, they fought each other. They were fighting each other all the way back when Jericho used to be. They've always been against each other. That's just not... Give us something new, man. Just give us something new. That's all I ask for. Sami Zayn won. Good for Sami Zayn. Hopefully he goes on to do bigger and better things. I did like Sami Zayn going into WrestleMania. I can't speak for much after WrestleMania, but Sami Zayn is an interesting character when you let him be himself. And hopefully they do something with Sami Zayn going out of this, man. I don't want to see another match with Kevin Owens anytime soon. I would prefer you move Sami Zayn to potentially an Intercontinental Championship, a U.S. Championship. Where were those titles? Where were the tag team titles? Who knows? Who knows? Talking about titles, we got Rhea Ripley defending her championship against Charlotte Flair. Now, man, oh man, I did not care about this match whatsoever. I'm going to be honest. This is the point in the show where I decided, you know what? I'm going to flip on the 76ers game against the Hawks. It's a close game there going into the 4th quarter. I think that maybe Trae Young can get something going. So I flipped that on my phone, and I was looking back and forth between the two. This match wasn't any good. It didn't catch my eye. It didn't do anything phenomenal. It didn't do anything it didn't do anything that was that great, man. It really didn't. It really didn't. Charlotte, she won via disqualification. Rhea Ripley retained the championship. We're getting another one. Whether that's a Money in the Bank or whether that's a SummerSlam, I pray to God that it's Money in the Bank because I don't want to see it at SummerSlam. Hopefully we can get something at SummerSlam that's fun and interesting, like maybe like a Rhea Ripley versus like an Asuka, or a Rhea Ripley versus I don't know how you'd ever make that happen, but like a Shayna. Either way, I don't want to see Charlotte Flair at SummerSlam winning the championship. That's simple. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see her at Money in the Bank winning the championship. She does not need to be winning any championships anytime soon. Hopefully Rhea Ripley can figure out a way to get away from Charlotte Flair. Match itself, like I said, nothing that good. But what was good, outside of the finish, in my opinion, was the main event, the Last Chance Hell in a Cell match between Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley. If Drew McIntyre was to lose this match, he will no longer be able to face Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship for as long as he holds it. And the Lords answered my prayers. The heavens smiled upon us today, and they had Drew McIntyre lose in what was a very good match. A very, very good match. Don't get me wrong. These guys beat the ever-living hell out of each other at Hell in a Cell. They beat the ever-living crap out of each other, man. And it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Both men, you saw scars all over their body. You saw marks all over their body, red marks from the kendo sticks. It was a brutal, brutal match. Very props to both of these men. Props to both of these men. Them two absolutely killed it. MVP got involved. He absolutely killed it, I thought. The one thing I did not like, I don't mind the MVP interference. I really don't. I'm not one that's going to get too worked up over interferences unless they're not really necessary or it happens all the time. I wasn't mad about the MVP one, to be honest with you. But I did not like the fact that Bobby Lashley ended up winning via roll-up. I would have had him potentially lock in the Hurt Lock, or maybe even have MVP do something and allow Bobby Lashley to hit a spear and pin Drew McIntyre 1, 2, 3 rather than a roll-up, because after the roll-up we saw Drew McIntyre act like he was all devastated. And on the roll-ups, man, you could kick out easily. That's the only problem I have with them. You could kick out, and Drew really wasn't even struggling, so it just looked a little bit off to me. But that's the only problem I had with that match. Very good match. Did I think it topped the first Hell in a Cell match of the night? Absolutely not. Bianca and Bayley killed it. I think they definitely got match of the night, in my opinion. They kicked off the show on a very good note, and from then it was downhill. And then Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre at the end was able to pick up the slack a little bit there. So overall, the show wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it was a really average show. You had two good matches, some okay matches that really didn't mean anything, and then a pre-show match, man. So nothing too spectacular on Hell in a Cell, but that's what we got, man. That's all we got here on the Hell in a Cell review. I said it wasn't going to go very long. I went longer than I thought I would. I'm going about 17, 18 minutes by the time I finish my outro, but that's all I got for you guys. I will be doing a Raw review tomorrow. For the first time in a very long time, I'll be reviewing Raw. Hopefully that goes well. Tuesday, like I said, I don't know when I will be reviewing NXT, but I will be reviewing NXT. I will let you guys know once I know whether or not I'm going to be uploading immediately after NXT, or if I'm going to be maybe a couple hours late. I don't know that yet. Wednesday, the rest of this week, I'm more so feeling out some things. So I'll let you guys know what times I will be able to get stuff out for you guys. But definitely there will be content with AEW this week. There will be content with NXT, with Raw, and with SmackDown. And there will be a weekly news video before Sunday, which on Sunday I will be going to the Pirates vs. Cardinals game. So I will be taking the day off on Sunday, and then we are going back throughout that grind once again. And I'll continue to let you guys know when each video will be out, or approximately when I'll start uploading it. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this, or not NXT. Hopefully you guys did join this Hell in a Cell review. Make sure you do click that like button. It really helps me out a lot. Make sure you subscribe if you like any of the things I've said. And make sure, guys, that you go follow the Twitter down below at GamersGoonYT and the Instagram at thegoongameryt. Big things happen. Big things happening this summer, man. We got a lot of things going on for me. Big events. We got a big event in the middle of July. Now, I will let you guys know that July, I believe, 9th through the 17th, I believe, I will not be doing anything related to wrestling, I don't believe. I will let you guys know more around those dates, because I will be on a camping trip with my family, for the family. It's the family vacation of the summer, I guess you can say. So I will be having that in the middle of July. But I will be back by the time of Money in the Bank. I will get a Money in the Bank preview and predictions out. More than likely, that's probably just going to be on my own. I know the last few times I've had guests join me, but I don't really think I will be able to for that. And then we're going right back into it. Throughout the remainder of the summer, we're going strong, we're going heavy, we're going hard all year long, man. The only time I plan on stopping is that break there on, and then the off days, obviously, because I'm probably not going to upload most Sundays unless there's a pay-per-view or something. Is that break there that I just told you guys about. And then when I go back to college, I definitely do plan on getting a lot more content out while I'm at college, because this year I will be in my own apartment, own dorm, so I don't have to worry about scheduling times to be able to record, because I'm in my own area. So this went a little bit longer, 21 minutes, not too bad. But I'm going to get on out of here. I'm going to get out of your guys' hair. Thank you guys for listening this far if you have. Once again, do all the fun stuff like, subscribe, and go follow all the social medias. Hopefully you guys have had a very good night watching Hell in a Cell, and if you haven't, I recommend going back and seeing 2 of those matches, Bianca Belair's match and Bobby Lashley's match. I highly recommend those 2. And the show wasn't bad, but let's get going this summer, and let's get some new stuff, fresh content coming out with the WWE. We got a big month ahead of us with AEW next month. I'm looking forward to that, and I will be getting out of you guys' hair right now. Thank you for watching. It's been your role model of the IWC Gamers Goon, and I will be seeing you guys tomorrow night on the Raw review.